just need to do it.
Okay, we're official. All right, Judy, my apologies. I'm going to make you a co-host. And now you can click your green button.
Desktop.
Click that. And then you should be able to show us your images. Is it working?
I'm going to send you my images.
I think that the problem is it's still, the host has to enable sharing for all
I did
of
that.
us. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can do
gonna
it. You can do it one at a time. And I did.
I'm going to send Stephanie my images and you can
Yeah.
go to the other people.
Okay.
You also have to have the accessibility set up, which I don't think she does. All right, Donald, you are up. Let's see. Let me make you, I've already made you a co-host. And if it doesn't work, well, then it's my fault.
Uh-oh.
I'm timing you, Donald.
You seen that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
It's North Beach early in the morning. Chinatown. Under the bridge, not Fort Mason, but the other place. We'll just look at these. I won't explain them.
I like that one.
Thank you. I've been in the city for a year now, and most of these are new.
Oh.
This is where I'm cat sitting now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's downtown. I go downtown to warm up. I'm living out near the sunset in the park side. It's very foggy, very cold. So I go into the city to warm up.
Nice.
Some of these, that's an old one. That's the end of the Broadway tunnel. And that's right down there, Van Ness and Market.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
And this guy riding his bicycle on the beach. I thought that was pretty good. This is out my window here. That's down. This is an old one here. Another old one. And I'm taking care of this character right now. There's Tiger. I've opened a portrait studio for birds down at the ferry building. This is that's the T line. It goes to Chinatown and out to Hunters Point.
That's nice.
Very nice.
That's the Great Highway from the Sutro estate.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
So you don't drive, right? How do you get around?
I got a free Muni pass. I can go any place on Muni for free. So, and I get on the underground Muni. I can get downtown in about 15 minutes.
And then do you just walk to a lot of these locations?
Yeah, walk till you get tired and sit down, just walk till I exhaust myself. This is right in the neighborhood here. My assignment is in the Civic Center area here. So it's quite a mixture of things going on in this neighborhood. There's a recent one. And there it is. Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
But I've been telling you that in my posts.
Telling me what?
Or I've been telling you how much I've been enjoying your photos in your posts, in my comments to your posts.
Well, I appreciate it too. The feedback helps me decide which images are more popular than others, you know, so I can get an unbiased opinion. So I appreciate the
Well,
nice
I tell you,
compliment.
Donald, as a person who's been known for landscape virtually your entire photography career,
Hmm.
you're really into the city and the street life, and I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people are still a threat to me. You know, I can't really approach people and ask them if I can take their photos. So it's more of a candid camera thing, but I try not to get caught, you know, sometimes. But maybe I'll get more into that because I would like to work more with people, you know.
Great stuff, Tom.
Great, thank you.
30 seconds if anybody wants to ask a question.
I'm gonna stop my share there. Yeah.
All right. So I just made, Bruce, I just made you a co-host if you'd like to share.
Okay, I'm gonna set the timer.
Okay.
Okay. Earlier this year, I gave a presentation on to the Fairfax Photo Club on my 50 years as a full-time career photographer. And it's still on YouTube. If people want to go and check it out, you go to the Fairfax Photo Club and put in my name. I'm most excited about my newest stuff. So I'm going to share my screen.
What's your name?
Bruce Forrester.
Mhm.
And here we go. This is from the San Rafael Porch Fest just last Sunday.
Nice.
24 stages, 74 bands. I'm basically a photojournalist. So I was a volunteer, but I want to tell the story of the day. I want my photography to be a positive give back to the community. I support local music. I love local music. And want to encourage people to see how much fun it is to go out and enjoy the community. So I'm just trying to show the positive energy of the day, and all the while, you know, as a professional photographer, my work's always at a, you know, good enough. This is actually a favorite right here. I'm trying to get things that are more universal within the immediate story, not just that tells the story, but something that hopefully will transcend. So, my focus is on capturing joy. A joke is that I want to capture joy, so I get to keep some for myself and then share the rest. You know, I do things. Oh, there's somebody who wasn't enjoying it. But things that sort of, you know, oh, and there's Terry. So you know, I work to give the sense of place, to capture the action. Donald doesn't like photographing people, or if that's his goal. I love photographing people. That's that's my thing. I love photographing people. I love the emotion. I love the energy. I want to have an exchange. And passion. I want there to be energy in my photos. So typically, I'll generally work with a telephoto zoom and then a very wide angle zoom. So I'm either working with a a 17 to 35 millimeter lens or a 70 to 200 millimeter lens.
Hey,
And
Bruce, were you carrying 2 cameras that day?
yes, now, okay, how do I unzoom? Your screen sharing, stop share. There, okay. I was carrying 2 cameras. 2 cameras is really how you're supposed to work, but it's exhausting. And I was using 2 cameras that day. I've ended up turning into an old person, and it wears me, you know. So I often also 2 cameras is a bit of a statement. So it's always nice to have 1 camera, and then I'll change lenses. So
You carry 2 cameras because of the different lenses, or
I carry 2 cameras because they'll have 2 very different lenses. One will be telephoto, one's wide angle, and I can change and grab the cameras quickly. Oops, there's my 5 minutes. Quickly as need be.
thank you.
All right.
That
Thank
was
you.
that bell was
Bruce.
my 5 minutes. I made it.
Ta-da, perfect. All right, next let's have, you ready, Alan?
Sure, why not?
Kind of just going in order of this Brady Bunch screen.
Am I supposed to hit share or something?
Not yet. All right,
Okay.
now you can.
Let's see what we've got here. I'm looking at Keynote, I think. There should be more than one image. How do I do that then?
Well, you got to share your screen. So hit that green button at the bottom.
Yeah.
Try double clicking it.
I should have a ton of stuff right on this.
There it
Oh,
goes.
here we go. There we go.
Yeah, there you are. Beautiful.
If I can get rid of that, I'll get rid of.
Are
Okay.
you timing, Donald?
Okay, guys. Yeah, I've got this on as soon as I hit play here. All right, here we go. Then if I can get that green box out there. Basically, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that I've been using Polaroid over the last year and a half. Some of you might know some of my work. This type of stuff, these first few images are basic Polaroids, whether they're shot with a Polaroid camera or used through a Polaroid lab and then manipulated. And these are all manipulated with water only and a lot of delicate care. These images you're seeing right now, it's really easy to screw them up because it's emulsion, and you're seeing all the mosaic type work, and it can go too far. So the problem is knowing when to stop and how to stop it. And most of that's just a drawing process. You can see in this pyramid here, the depth around that yellow window. This is that same building that Donald had earlier, actually, that same building downtown San Francisco. And again, this is the end of these guys, but they're just Polaroid manipulations through what they call Polaroid decay. The next set coming up, I don't know what it is. Let's see here. Okay, these are mainly portraits I've done in black and white that I've again gone through a Polaroid manipulation, and mainly this is creating collages through through an image. This one here in particular, has done the Sabatier effect or solarization, from Man Ray and the Surrealists. And the image itself is a negative from 1975, and this one's a negative from 77, but I'm bringing it up into the now and still the old. You guys know Jill Biafra from the Dead Kennedys? Some of you might, right here.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just playing with the different ways to play, with the Polaroid to create something just slightly different than what I've done. I've already done these images before and they were boring finally, shoved in a drawer. I bring them out, boom, things change. This is a good one because it's got so many layers, if you can find them. The negatives here from 1974 in Germany, with a medium format camera. I can't think of what it would be. Mamiya RB67. Self-portrait with a Leica in my studio at home. Then again, done with the Man Ray Sabatier effect or solarization. I love playing with that. I consider myself a surrealist, etc. And then this is stuff, some of you may have seen a couple of my images before of these, but basically I'm doing again Polaroids, but I'm peeling transparencies and black and white transparencies and layering them and shooting them from different angles with different light set to create, again, I'm looking for depth and other levels and other realms, and then adding some color into them. And basically, this is how my show is. I think might be another one here. And there's so having a lot of fun spending time with old Polaroids. This one's great because this is like the Oracle of Delphi. You got this is from the Porchfest area actually, and I had to fight a friend of mine to get this shot because I wanted it, and I got it. You'll see here the manipulations. This is a water manipulation plus layering, and you're seeing these little weird things happening, and these emulsions want to help me, believe me. I created something that's coming up for publication pretty soon when in Frames magazine, but I texted it as a highlight of is it man or is it emulsion, something along those lines. And this I did this morning, so I thought I'd just show this at you. It's what I call fine art Polaroid, and there we go.
It's fantastic, Alan. Especially the pairings of the two shots together is that's a great idea.
I forgot I didn't bring it onto here, but I even have a shot of my ex-wife when we were first together and we were really punking and stuff, and we did a studio shot, and I actually put it together with a pin, like a safety. It's not really good.
Yeah, great. You got a lot of creativity going on there.
Can I ask a question about using your old images from the 70s? So are you actually using the negatives to create?
Yes.
How are you working with them?
Yeah, I'm going to take either a negative or even a Kodachrome or something and transfer that via a scanner or some way and get that and put this. So this image here was done with a Leica, and I put it through what's called the Polaroid Lab. Plus, I went into Photoshop, etc., etc.
The Polaroid Lab, something online? Is that what you mean? Is that like a
the lab? No, you have to buy the lab for like $130, and I hope they have an upgrade really soon, just to get things down the way I want it. But it's just another tool than trying to do another exposure with your SX70 camera out in the bush. I can take that image, whether it's with my phone, which Donald knows a lot. He and I both use our phone. In fact, my phone is set up in square to shoot. So I know what I'm looking for to get me to this final project. So yes, film, digital, whatever it takes to get to whatever I think.
Thank you.
Okay.
Question.
All right, so let's
If
stop
you need
sharing.
help later, you can DM me and I can help you with stuff.
Thank you.
All right, let's, can you stop sharing, Ellen?
Oh, I didn't know I had.
I think Sandy had a question.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
go
like
for it,
taking
Sandy.
over this. How do I stop sharing? It won't let me.
There should be a red button.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Cool. Okay, I can drink beer again? Yeah.
All right, should we move forward? Or were there more questions? Okay, let's do, Marianne, are you ready? Let me make you.
Yes, except okay, so I have them all in a folder, but I didn't make a slideshow.
It's
So
okay.
how do I get them into?
Can you
show?
use preview? Or you
Okay,
just open them one at a time? Let me make you a co-host.
okay, I open them one at a time and drag them in one at a time?
What do you normally look at your images in? What software?
You know what? I hardly use this computer anymore, Photoshop, but this thing is a
Good for
dinosaur.
you.
You
So,
could just double click it and see what happens.
but how do I get it into
So click
Zoom?
your share screen. Click
Okay,
the-
thank you. Sorry for being such
No
a.
worries. You could just send them to me.
That's okay. There's a, let's just do it. So share and open system settings. What?
Yeah, I think you need to change your accessibility.
Okay, screen system audio. Okay.
So why don't you send them to me and I'll post them for you.
Okay, sorry about that. I haven't been on Zoom in this capacity in a long time, so I will send them to you.
Okay. Let's do Judy because I have hers. Or actually, no, let's do someone who I'm not quite ready. So Terry, you're ready, right? Let me make you a co-host.
Stephanie, your bird on your shoulder is great.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Chance because he has a real bird.
Oh,
Look how cute.
Yes.
oh, here's Terry. Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Before you start, Terry,
Mhm.
Stephanie, if I need to send you my folder, do you want me to send it to your email or what?
Yeah, send it to my email.
Thank you.
All right. Like Bruce, I'm an event photographer. A photojournalist, a travel photographer, and I love shooting pictures of people or taking pictures of people. So these are all of a couple of events. I'm kind of halfway through about a 6-event gig for the month of September, a little into October. So this was the Ember Stomp, and which was last week, and they had a demonstration of burning a building, and and so I actually wanted to do this for free, but they insisted on paying me, so I took their money. And she asked twice, so I figured that, well, she's not going to let me go. But apparently she was paying everybody else too. They must have had a grant or something. So anyway, they burnt the building on the left. You can see that the plants are real close, and so you can start to see it catching fire. Actually, I like this picture the most because the flames are really cool. It was really very interesting and very hot, because in order to get this picture, you had to be in the direct heat flow of the heat. And then you can see that at this point, the building's about to start to burn completely to the ground, and now you can see it's falling over. So this was kind of little fake photojournalism because it was all pre-planned. So this is the part of the Ember. I'm much like others. I just wander around taking pictures of people and events and anything else that catches my eye. And so I caught this little girl. I'm not sure she was too happy about this. She never smiled the whole time, but she ended up with a nice little painting. This guy was just amazing, and had an amazing backdrop for some reason. Taking a picture on white was never so easy in a white shirt, but it turned out really, really nice. And then this was yesterday at the Marin Senior Information Fair, and it was a 60s event. And this is the ukulele jubilee, and they're doing 60 songs. This guy's Fletcher. We caught each other's cameras, and it was very interesting that I every time I saw someone who looked my age, I said, well, then you must remember the 60s, and they all said no. Just like myself. Same thing with this lady here. Much like Bruce, I did the did the Porch Fest. Came out with about 800 photos.
That's Canyon.
That's Canyon, absolutely. I've photographed them a couple of years in a row now. Some of these are the same type of photos that Bruce shot. We just seem to be following each other around a little bit. But and by the way, I think these groups are some of the more animated groups, and the porches were straight in front of you, so they were easy to photograph. You didn't have to look up at them, which was kind of nice. So this guy, he has since connected with me.
That's Michael Padilla.
Absolutely. And I've got him a couple of years in a row now. He's always worth a photo.
Yeah.
This is El Radio Fantastica. I just like her hair was blowing in the breeze. Really a beautiful day. I mean, I have done the Porch Fest multiple times, and it's either brutally hot, light's terrible, but the light was actually quite nice. We had some overcast, so there's a lot of good photos on people. I think you agree with that, Bruce. Lot of emotion with the performers, and there's our good friend Bruce with his 2 cameras. I actually photograph with 1 camera now. I cannot carry 2 anymore, and I actually use a pole, which is keeps the weight off my shoulders. But it's hard to do 2 cameras, even though they make a lot of sense. I mean, it's real practical to have both. And when I do downtown protest, I usually use 2 cameras because you don't have time to be changing lenses. I just happen to like this guy with his dog. Really, really sharp.
That is a great photo.
Yeah.
I tried taking it too, and yours is so much better.
Just and I actually like taking pictures of people. I will acknowledge them when I can. I'll take it candid, you know, but my camera is always looking for people, looking for an interesting. If I can get the eye contact, it's nice, but it's not definitely required. And this one here, he's having a conversation. I got the dog's eye contact. He's looking right at me. And then this is that El Radio group. I did desaturate the background just a little bit to pop the guy up. This is Swiss, and I have several photos of her. I can't pass up reflective glasses. This guy was so cool with these glasses. And there's a series of photos here of this guy. The Crooked Stuff is the name of the group.
They're
and you
great.
can see he just really was getting into his scene. And then he's got the keyboardist guy here, which was all part of the act. I mean,
the previous photo with the cricket guy, I love the lady looking in the window, looking out the window.
I forgot to mention that. Yes, I actually tried to pull her out a little bit because she owns the house, and she was just astonished. A couple of times she came up on the step and whatever, and you know, and this guy was just going crazy. I mean, he just is amazing. And here's a little flower child. So this guy was really getting it on, and he would pick different people to dance with, and the next photo will tell you what he's all about. And I think that might be it. Yep, that's it. That's my show.
Awesome.
Good ending.
Yeah.
Nice variety.
Yeah. And I've got the China Camp Heritage coming up this weekend. I've got a political thing with Roberto Hernandez the following weekend. So there's a lot of stuff. And then I'm heading up to the Olympic National Park in October for a rainforest shoot. So I'm going to be busy. That's it.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Donald, are you timing?
Thank you.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep, we're doing pretty good, I think.
Good. All right, our next presenter will be Chance, and and you're muted, by the way, Chance. And the other thing is I just made you a co-host.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna share. Let's see here. Boom. All right, can you all see my screen okay?
Mhm. Mhm. I think
Cool.
somebody's
Yes.
playing
Okay.
guitar. Is somebody playing guitar?
That's, I think that's Marty.
Okay.
Are you playing your guitar, Marty?
No, it's one of my
Might want-
friends in the background.
Oh, okay.
We're going to be playing a lot of music here. 2 guitars, 2 ukuleles, 1 set of bongos. Going to be
Sounds good.
I'm gonna just mute you while Chance is talking. Let's see.
Sure.
You want me to close the door?
There you go.
Cool. All right. Hi everyone. So I recently just got back from a couple week backpacking and trekking trip through Iceland. And so I've only just started to get through some of the photos. So I have some photos from the first couple of days, which was like hurricane strength, class 1 hurricane strength winds, and hiking through a snowstorm and things like that. So this first photo is like on the trip out. We were able to get out the second day when the winds calmed down from being 74-mile-an-hour winds to just 50 or 45-mile-an-hour winds. So this is through the side of the fishing boat, which is the only way to get out to this northern part of Iceland up near the Arctic Circle. Just thought the framing of it was cool. It's such a gloomy, ominous sort of scene, the birds in it and everything. Let's see here. The next is a similar photo, but I was able to capture my partner, her reflection through the glass, and have her face sort of framed in this ghostly way against the exterior metal casing of the fishing vessel. So I thought that was pretty beautiful for glancing out there. And you can kind of see everything out. It's just like vast green space out there. I think this is a good little sample of like the start. You get dropped off in the back down at the beach, but there's no dock. You kind of have to jump off of the ship and get onto the rocks and start climbing up through the rainstorm. And a lot of what you're seeing it looks like streams. Those used to be trails, but they were getting incredible amounts of precipitation. I thought about actually dehazing this shot to bring out some more of the detail, but honestly, it was really hard to capture a lot of crystal clear shots given the amount of rain. I'll move on here to the next one. Yeah, so when you get over the mountain pass and you can kind of see the other side, there are no like markers. They're just these stacks of rocks to basically explain where you're going. This is kind of the scene. So every time you get through a pass, you think you're done, and then there's a new scene awaiting you, like a video game or something. So there's a whole section that was just this sort of encased icy mass, sleet, hail, etc. I was surprised to get as many shots as I did with my DSLR. Had more shots with my phone. This example, like getting out past the pass, it just opens out in this beautiful floodplain. I wanted to take a photo with my DSLR, but it was just totally rained out, and you can see the streaks of the rain on the lens itself, but it still captures a fairly pretty sight. You can see the day after, we're trapped in our tent as the storm picks up again. I love the sort of like action shot of but my lens is totally fogged from the inside because it got wet, because I was silly and tried to take photos. Nonetheless, the next day, the lens defogged, and we were able to kind of get out of this beautiful little tunnel tent we brought. And of course, after a storm, the weather is just like dramatically gorgeous and clear, and the sunsets are beautiful. I also thought about adding more, saturation, but honestly, the scene was pink and purple enough. It didn't really call for it. You can see our green little tent in the bottom here. It's like a tent specifically to deal with those crazy winds. But it was glorious. This is up near the Arctic Circle, about 5 kilometers south. We were able to, go along the beach. I love this sort of scene. You can see the footprints of a fellow traveler potentially. So we decided to chase them down. We ended up making a river crossing ahead here where the river connects with the beach, and we waded through about hip deep water coming from the glacier, and it was frigid, very frigid. And lo and behold, stumbling across a beautiful Arctic fox. This is the time of year when they leave their dens and are able to go off out on their own. And we were walking down the trail after those footprints and actually woke this little one up from a nap, and was able to just snap a quick shot. But these are, the first couple days of magic out in the wilderness in Iceland. So yeah, happy to share some of those stories with you guys.
Wow.
Nice.
What a trip. My
That's
favorite
absolutely
is definitely the
fabulous.
fox.
Absolutely fabulous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for Chance?
I have a question. Did you have to, I take it your whole itinerary was mapped out?
Yeah, normally people bring guides or hire guides, but that can cost thousands of dollars. So I just spent a lot of time on Reddit and on the internet for a couple months building out the itinerary myself. But there were people out there that are staying out there for multiple weeks filming and taking photographs of Arctic foxes and whales and things like that. So
Did you have cell coverage out there?
no cell coverage.
I
No.
would imagine. So if you got lost, you'd be still there.
Yeah, exactly. But I live to tell the tale. So
Thanks.
It's pretty amazing. I've been there.
I'm going to share for Judy right now. Let's see. Bear with me here. Oops, I'm sharing mine accidentally. Sorry, I do this almost daily. Here I am struggling. Here we go. All right, this is Judy. Are you muted?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
I went to this resort in San Diego with a friend, and they had a sanctuary for blind seals.
Oh.
So they had 3 seals in this man-made little pond, which was actually quite big enough for them to move around. And I wanted to take a picture, so I thought this was cute.
You did. Looks pretty comfortable.
This picture, I actually sent a copy to Don to see if I could figure out how to blur the background so the cactus and his little friends at the bottom stood out. But I haven't heard back, Don.
Boy, I missed that somehow, but that might be tough. That might be better to go back and reshoot it if you could, but
well,
yeah, it's long.
So
yeah, you could do that in Photoshop by masking it and blurring it, but
it'll be easy.
Yeah.
I don't have photo. I only use the iPhone 13 Pro. So
well, there might be something in there to do that type of thing.
You can get Photoshop on your iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't have Photoshop
You can,
on my iPhone.
You can get it on your iPhone.
You can download it.
Correct.
it's not that complicated with the iPhone. You can take out the entire background. I'll talk to you.
Yep.
If somebody wants, if someone
Thanks,
would like
Sandy.
to help, I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then this was a sunset picture.
Nice.
San Diego has this really nice bay with lots of boats, and San Diego is beautiful when it's beautiful, but a lot of days it's overcast.
Mhm.
This was an overcast sunset.
Mhm.
That's it. I like the view.
I love the reflection.
Yeah, it's all about the reflection.
All
And
right.
I like the
Sure.
clouds, the different color clouds, but how I think some of that smog instead of sunset.
It's pretty smog.
Pretty smog. Yeah,
And
that,
Judy, didn't you win some award with the Marin Photo Club?
I sold a photo at the Marin County Fair.
All right. That's quite an accomplishment,
It is.
I'll tell you.
It's the second time I sold the same photo, so
Oh,
might make me famous. We'll see.
All right. Our next speaker, Bonnie, are you ready?
Yes, I think I am. I'll give it a try.
Making you
Let's
a
see here.
co-host.
I've got,
All right, the floor is yours.
photos up and I've got to.
Bruce is funny.
Oh, wait, hang on for a second. I'm gonna go to photos and go back to, make sure I've got this correctly set up.
And Donald assisted you, didn't he?
Well, we went through a little practice here, so I
Right.
think,
Thank you for doing that, Donald. That was pretty nice of you. And Donald, basically, while you're getting ready, I just want to thank you, Donald, because I've been very busy and overwhelmed. And he posted stuff for me. He took care of a lot of business that I couldn't take care of. So I'm really grateful.
appreciate it. We appreciate you too, Stephanie.
Thank you.
okay, and I'm gonna go to my desktop. And then I'm going to,
Happen. Here we go.
well, I'm not right there yet. I've got to go to my, this, and then I want to go back to, well, and then I'm going to do a slideshow for you. How did that happen? This is kind of messed up here. Hang on for a second. Here, this is the beginning. And this is an abstract. I don't usually do abstracts, but I wanted to start with this because this is something new and different and I've been doing experimenting. I wanted to focus on a certain theme, but I wanted to throw in a few different things that I've been doing lately. So I tried to pick photos that I haven't posted with the group so that they would be different images. This looks like waves, but it's actually wrapping paper. So
Yeah, okay.
little different for me. But here we go. Here's my 4 minutes. I've only got 4 minutes here for
That's cool.
times.
Very cool.
So, most of my photos are from my home. I didn't go to Iceland. This is the east view from my home, and this is looking a little bit more kind of southeast from my home. And then I was really getting into the skies, and when I was sorting through photos, I thought another view from my house. And then this towards Loch Lomond Marina. Just to give you the east toward the west, and then beyond that is town. This is a couple little birds on the railing of my deck. The male and female finch. And then Anna's hummingbird that was flying toward me just right on my deck. Hawk right outside my window, my backyard. Red-shouldered hawk, giving me a stare. Egrets in the tree. Again, this is taken right from my deck. Using a long zoom. And this is looking down into the pond behind my house.
Where do you live?
Day.
Where do you live?
Yeah.
She's
Where?
asking where you live.
Oh, it's in Somersville. Yeah. So here's a bunch of egrets. I often get a lot of wonderful egret action in this pond behind my house.
You should enter that one in a contest. That shot's amazing. The last one.
So is this?
That one's beautiful.
I love this one.
I entered this one and I got a first place in a regional photo club thing.
Beautiful.
And I love the great blue herons that hang out. That's right behind my backyard. Sometimes I get some nice close-ups that I have fun with.
Of this.
Wow.
Here I had, this is a rare one because there were a pair of great blue herons. And the one looking up, but the other is it's leaving like, where are you going? And then the black-necked stilts on the marsh. Just kind of dancing, I felt like, trotting along. I posted a picture on Facebook on the group. This mother duck lost one of her babies to a crow, and there she's trying to escort the rest to safety. That was right after that happened. And this is just walking around my neighborhood, one of my neighbors with a butterfly garden. And this is a little further afield in San Rafael. This is kind of it looks like a moonscape somehow to me, but it's at the San Rafael Rock Quarry, getting into landscapes. And this is over at China Camp. That's probably a familiar view. I went to take pictures of the ospreys and the nest off at Buckeye Point. And occasionally I take pictures of people too. So I threw in a few little portraits here that I thought just to give a little variety to what I'm showing. This was taken on his 100th birthday. And to close up, that's the view from near my house toward town. So one of my favorite views.
Very nice, Bonnie.
I want to live where you live. It's amazing.
Well, since I haven't been to Iceland and I haven't been doing much travel lately, I'm trying to enjoy the surroundings close by. But I have been going back through old photos and having fun with that. So I was really fascinated by what Alan's doing. And, I'm hoping to, I've also been going through some of my old travel photos and revisiting them. So it's fun. And getting lots of ideas from people. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great place to live out there, Loch Lomond. I used to go out there all the time. It's really a great spot.
So, if anybody has any questions, but that's. I think
No
that was
question,
5
but I
minutes.
really like
can-
this first
Very good stuff.
photo.
Which one?
The one that's right on the screen right now.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
I consider myself an abstract realist, so I can see where, yes, it's paper, but I like what it's doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like it.
I've seen people do a similar thing with eucalyptus trees. You turn a eucalyptus tree on its side.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, these were just, this is kind of the wrap that you get when you get boxes for moving. And there was just a whole big stack of them. And I took a
Yeah.
picture.
Very creative. Love it.
Okay, I'll stop sharing now. Yeah.
All right. Heinz, are you ready?
Okay, now let me,
I made you a co-host.
ready? Okay, 1 second. So,
Heinz, aren't you also a painter?
yes, so I'm
Yes.
actually an artist.
That's how I've
I'm a,
met you. You're a fantastic painter.
thank you.
I think
So
I
I'm a
met you too. I think I met
Yes.
you at MoMA at Marin.
Yes.
Aren't you a musician also?
And I'm a musician. So yeah, I was at the
You were the
That's it.
residents or whatever.
yeah. So I was actually at the I don't need to do this. I don't know why I'm doing
We're in
this.
Mocha, right?
Yeah, I'm at Marin Mocha. So I'm doing this incorrectly.
Yeah, if you guys didn't see his stuff, it was great.
I saw it. It was incredible. There was
When
a
was
show
it
there,
there?
and
Hmm.
I was,
Yeah, and so I was at the Porch Fest, but I was playing music. I didn't have the opportunity to
Oh, cool.
play.
Ah,
Yeah. I'm trying to move this window out of the way. So yeah, so can you see it?
uh-huh.
Yes.
Who are you
So
playing with, Heinz?
my friend Sarah.
Yeah, I got a picture of you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you were right next to the photographer's parking lot.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
right up on the porch. Yep.
God, they made a
Yeah.
photographer's parking lot.
Oh, yeah. That's
I
not the only notice we get.
took me an hour to park last year. All right, sorry.
So I really love being here. I have to tell you, this is so much fun. And basically because I'm new to photography. I got the photography bug about 3 years ago, and I'm just totally obsessed. So to be able to meet other photographers and have experiences like this is just great for me. So mostly I like shooting people. I would prefer to shoot in the studio. I don't have the chance to have a lot of models, and I don't have the chance to have a lot of projects, so I literally would shoot almost anything. So this was a free photo shoot in my studio, and that's an artist friend of mine. Let's put this work this way. This is from the same thing. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing.
Definitely.
This isn't, I wonder if I can get rid of, take this out.
We're seeing it really well, very clear.
Okay.
Good.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this is actually Haight-Ashbury. That was a mask that was in one of the windows. So like I said, sometimes I'll just take out the camera and go mostly to San Francisco where I can find interesting things. Some of you might recognize this. It's a mural in Haight-Ashbury. This gentleman was very nice. Let me take a picture of him. These were a couple of guys that were sitting to the side and said, yeah, please take a picture of us, and set up the sign and everything. This was from the free photo shoot in my studio, and these are the Red Hat Ladies. There's an organization called the Red Hat Society, and they happened to be coming to Marin Mocha, and I asked, and they came in, said they wanted to take some pictures. So, and they're always wearing their red hats. It's an international organization, actually. And I love that one. That same day, I took a picture of this gentleman. He came in to get some headshots, and that was really nice. So when I don't have a model to shoot, well, I got to shoot my son. This is a shot of my son. Actually, we were in a restaurant, and every time they opened up the front door, this beam of light would come and shine on my son. So I had to get my camera ready and kind of time when the door would open, when it was closed, and get a shot. So that one came out pretty nicely. And when I don't have models, I'll shoot myself and just do self-portraits. Self-portraits are really fun because they're kind of interesting, and you have to get the focus right and everything. I shoot with a Canon 5D Mark III, and usually I use an 85mm, sometimes a 50mm, and when I'm out on the street, I use a 70-300 zoom. That's my son and my nephew. This gentleman was just coming up the street in his Cadillac, his Gatsby Cadillac.
Yeah.
So I had to take a picture of him. You recognize that. Like I said, I'll take a photo of anything just for the sake of taking pictures because I'm obsessed with taking photos. And that's SF MoMA. This is the building across from Yerba Buena, a church. There is my nephew again. Familiar sight. So sometimes when I'm driving through the city, I will actually take photos from my car. I call them drive-by shootings. Because
Yeah, it's done.
yeah, because sometimes I don't want to get out of the car with all of my camera equipment. Walking around San Francisco is not as safe as it used to be. So I'll just shoot from the car window. And I've learned how to time the traffic lights, so I'm stopped and I can actually take a nice picture. Gentleman showing his butt crack. Oh, I actually don't like that picture very much. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that in there. I tried to put all these together while everybody was talking. I love this photo. This was at Ostrich Land. going towards Southern California. I had a couple pictures of the ostriches. They make beautiful subjects. They're great models. This was at the Novato Wine and Art Festival. And for some reason, this is one of my favorite photos. It's just something about it that I like, the color and the use, the tones, the different values. There's my son again. That's my wife's head in front of him. This is another nice shot I like. And again, I'm just shooting people, kind of street photography like while walking through the festival. This is actually a photo I took of my son while I was teaching basic photography at Marin Mocha. And he was actually quite helpful to the class. I taught him photography, and he knows a lot. And there he is there. And that's it for me.
Those are awesome.
Very, very good, Heinz. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is really great to be here. Please contact me and let me know how I can officially join the group.
Will you in the chat send me your email address and I'll put you on our list, and then monthly a couple times a month I'll send out a reminder.
Okay, will do.
Yeah,
And don't
please
let
do
me
it. I'll send
forget,
you the photos
everybody.
of you and Sarah.
Hey, Heinz, what's your lighting setup in the studio?
Oh, now that's very interesting. I personally prefer continuous light. I don't like flash very much. I understand its purpose, and I understand the you know the things that you get out of using a flash. I think because I love movies and because I'm a painter, I'm used to continuous light. So I like the fact that I see what I'm going to get while I'm using a continuous light. And I basically use LEDs. When I'm out and about, of course, I'm just using natural light that's outside.
LEDs. So are you, so where are you positioning them? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm trying to get. If I'm trying to get a lot of shadows, obviously the light is a little bit, to the side of the model. If I'm trying to get a little bit more light on the model, I move it forward. I have it mostly from the top coming down, but Rembrandt lighting to a certain degree, or to the side for more dramatic lighting. And then I sometimes have a light for rim lighting on the side, and sometimes light on the background if I'm using a screen, just to light that up to give a kind of halo effect behind the subject. I really love shadows a lot, so lighting is very important to me because I like shadows. As a painter, I'm closer to like the Baroque period and Rembrandt, so chiaroscuro is kind of important to me. So a lot of people that see my paintings, they see my photos and they think it's a painting because they know that's the way I paint.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Marianne, are you ready?
Yep, just tell me what I have to do.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen for you. Let me see, hang tight.
Sure.
Oops, hold on, I have to get rid of this. I'm gonna do it again. Share. There we go.
Okay.
That's
it. Yeah. Can you make the rest go away so we can just look at them one at a time? There we go. So I've been doing photography pretty much all my adult life, and I wanted to challenge myself to just try to put different things together. I do a lot of collaging, and I also have so many pictures that are interesting, but not enough to really be standalone. So this raven was from West Marin, Drake's Beach, and that was 6th and Folsom. And I just kind of put it together because animals have ended up in urban areas because we've created the urban areas, and just sort of it's a juxtapositioning of kind of how weird that can be. So, but also I'm very much fascinated by surrealism, and what I like about doing collage is that people can bring their own story to whatever they're looking at and go from there. Do we have the next one? This is about a 3 or 4 picture composite as well. I did this around the last drought because it was getting scary, and for me the birds are just kind of looking for the rain or waiting for it, kind of sentinels for it, hoping for the rain. Next one, please. This one, I just had a lot of fun. I was feeling kind of irreverent, and I just decided that the fish should fly in the sky and the birds should sit and watch, just because, because I could. And yeah, so next one.
Just because, right?
Just because, this is,
I like this.
I had fun with this. This is, I was flying a lot across country, and those are big irrigation crop circles on the ground. And then this was actually from the Conservatory of Flowers, which is glass was there one day when I just took a picture of it and saved it forever. And then it found its mate. Next, please.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So I recognize the windows from the Conservatory of Flowers. What are the circles?
So if you ever fly east and you come back kind of the southern route, in the middle of the country, that's how they irrigate all the crops. Instead of doing a square, they put them all in a circle and grow the crops, and then they irrigate it that way. And it's pretty neat pattern and geometry, and I've got tons of those because I can't help myself from photographing it every time I see it. So, but it was kind of fun to collage it a little bit off the beaten path. So, and then this one, well, it just is. Again, playing around. The window came from when they were redoing and painting the San Rafael D Street post office, and I just looked at it and they had all this paper up on it, and I just thought, okay, I'm gonna have to come back here and photograph it. And then the rest is just found. I like shooting and discovering found art, found pieces. Like that mannequin was down in Sausalito in the garden by the liveaboards, and I used to take my students down there when I was teaching photography because you could find so many unique things to see and photograph. Next, please. Again, kind of my homage to Magritte, and yeah, just a lot of clouds. And next. More fun with koi fish and trees, and just kind of putting the improbable together.
It works.
Yeah, thanks. Next, I don't want to run out of time. And this is sort of a little whimsical and not, it just depends on when you look at it, what you see.
Dolphin.
Yeah, dolphins, and maybe kind of sea rising. Next, please. Yeah, I just love finding really interesting things to photograph, and then I put my pictures of egrets and so forth in. That was I took that at one of the Van Gogh slideshow things. Do I have any more?
No, that's it.
Okay, that's it. Yes, it keeps me entertained, and it's
Thank you.
also engaging because it doesn't always work, and sometimes it'll take me months to figure out, let go of one picture and put in another, and it all clicks.
I have to say these collages that you and Alan do are just so unusual and unique. Like so different.
Yeah, Marion, what program are you using to do your collages or montages?
I Photoshop, and a lot of times I'll just collage like with pictures. I'll print out a bunch of pictures of my photos, and then I'll just start cutting them and pasting them. So I do both on the table and then I do in Photoshop as well. Because that's one thing about digital photography, I really miss the hands-on aspect of creating.
Yeah, I can't believe you do physical. I used to do it way back in the 60s. So it's
Uh-huh.
kind of funny. So it's great to hear.
It's very relaxing, cutting. I kind of channel Matisse, with my big scissors. I don't know, it's fun. I cut all these out by hand. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very relaxing.
Huh.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Very creative. Yeah.
Thanks.
I love that tree and the koi fish. That was my favorite.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
did you also notice the bubbles that were up the top there?
Yeah.
Those look like my degraded Polaroids. And you've got a transition there that's really good with the fish and that wood.
By the
Yeah.
way, I really loved your degraded. I used to do a lot of Polaroid transfers back in the day, and we take the emulsion off. I really enjoyed seeing what you're doing with them. That was at the car wash. Every time I go to the car wash, I always have my camera up. So that was just
It worked because it was all just
yeah.
one area.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. Photography completely entertains me.
Huh.
It does. Thank you, everyone.
All right, next will be Marty. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me? Am I on?
You're on.
Okay. I didn't do Donald's course. Now I have to find my photos.
Should we? Oh, there you go.
That's tonight.
You're out on your back porch in the dark or something, right?
Yes.
Oh, good. It looks great.
Thanks. It's been beautiful. How do I make it? So let's see. There we go. So make sure I got the timing right. Come on, wake up phone. I use a Fuji. Can you see it? X30? Well, and it's like about a 28 to 112 fixed lens. It's small. I can keep the lens cap off and the camera on. And my wife calls it my babe magnet because girls keep coming over to talk about it. I've been influenced by a lot of people in street photography. One of them being during COVID, I discovered Melissa O'Shaughnessy. She's just fabulous. And she was giving a course that I took, and this is from her book. This one I took this morning. Taking pictures of sleeping people is fun, easy, but you got time to compose. But I always have my wife, this is the streets of Manhattan. My wife has, limited patience, so I have to keep moving. Sitting in the subway, sleeping people, fun if you get the right background. Saying a lot about Manspread and my son's Bianchi bike. This guy was kind enough to let me take his photograph, and I said, I'm waiting for that barge to go by. Can you hold the pose? Sure. No helmet law in Mississippi. This was in front of my son's apartment in Bed-Stuy. He was happy to pose. This guy asked to pose when he saw my camera. He said, can you take a picture of me in front of that statue? These guys I met in Golden Gate Park. So I got their permission. This guy saw me with my camera, saw me about to take a picture of him, turned around and gave me tacit approval. It was just perfect. I think this is in Firenze in Florence. I was invited to a wedding in Bali, so it was easy to get the people to trust me. I saw this at South Street Seaport this summer, and I love this guy's keys. So I asked him to pose for me and make the keys available. And these guys, I wanted to show me their Buffalo Bills hat in Buffalo. Always wanted to get the Carabinieri with their Valentino uniforms, but they're hard to get. This was taken in a tunnel on the Isle of Capri. But this guy was great. I engaged with him. I wanted to know what all those badges were for, all those battle ribbons. He said, I don't remember. One is for 9/12. I was there. For 9/11. I was at the World Trade Center. He said, I don't remember which one. This was taken on Times Square. In Holland, they saw me taking the picture and they posed. It was great. Police are not always easy to get. Oh, these waiters in France, they don't want to be photographed. I had my camera sitting on the table with the screen up, sound off, and I had him, I got him. Sometimes people don't want to be photographed.
Ah,
Yeah. And in this case, this was in Madrid at a flea market, and I knew enough Spanish to know that the woman over here was chewing me out for taking the photograph. Sometimes, actually the only course I took in photography that was, standalone with a professor, it was in street photography, and he said the most important piece of equipment to have in street photography is a good pair of running shoes. So I didn't ask this guy's permission. I took the picture and I was out of there fast. But I love Henri Cartier-Bresson, the decisive moment. Just the right timing, just my camera at the right place. This is Cologne, Germany. I mean, just the picture of Mount Vesuvius would have been nothing, I think, without that woman in her red dress. New York City, that says it all. This was in Lisbon, I think. And I had the camera ready. I saw that and I said, oh my. The Hasids don't want to be photographed. This was, like we were just hearing about, I got good photographing from the car. I'm really good photographing from a car. I have 2 roadsters, so I have the top down a lot. That makes it easier, but in Brooklyn, it's not the same.
Yeah, they do not like to be photographed, so I'm surprised you got that.
Timing is everything. Oh, can I keep going a little bit? Keep going. And sometimes you have to photograph from far away. It just says everything. And then you got to get in closer. This guy was okay. That's my son. Sometimes from above. I love umbrellas. And also, O'Shaughnessy talked about staying in one place for a long time and getting the photograph. This was from my hotel window in Locarno on Lago Maggiore. I was sitting in this, I love this building in Brooklyn, and I just sat there for a long time, and eventually the photograph I wanted came by. I was sitting here for a long time. This is in Stockholm, and this woman went by and matched the pole. I just love the lines and the angles of this pedicab. This is Manhattan across from the Guggenheim. This is Hawaii. Looked like a samurai. And the angles were just too much to miss on these. And then sometimes the color will just pop out at you. And just says, colors just bring you right in. And then shadows along with the colors. And then I became adept at subways. This is actually 1979, and got better. And then I got it so I sit in a car seat where the doors open so I could see through it. And this happened just as the doors were closing. And I can get between cars. This was in Italy. And getting group photos is not easy, but these guys were amenable. And sometimes they don't ask permission. The Marines, I had asked their permission. And I love families. And what a sweet family. And maybe we can all get together like Hasids and the Black people at Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, everyone just being together and enjoying the beauty we have around us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marty.
Fantastic.
Let's do Sandy, because I have her stuff here right in front of me. Bear with me.
So it's not the full picture.
It's not?
No, there's more on the left. Pull it over to the right.
This this is the whole image.
There's 3 cows.
Oh, we're seeing 3.
I
You're
think
seeing Sandy.
I only saw 2. Okay. So I tried to come up with a theme to eliminate a lot of photographs. So I chose sun reflections and sunsets and moon rises. So you can go on to the next one. This is on the 3 cows on the ridge line.
Are you seeing the full image?
Yes. And this is also in Point Reyes, sunset. And this was in Richardson Bay, and I call this a sunset because I couldn't have gotten that lighting on the egret. This isn't the whole photo. The legs are in the picture.
This is the whole image.
Yeah, well, am I the only one that's not seeing the whole thing?
Right.
I see a board on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
Like
it.
it's standing on a roof.
Yeah, it's
You
standing on
can't
a
see the full, you can't see its feet, only its legs.
the featured show, but anyway.
Must be a different image you got.
I consider this a sunset photo. Okay, go
Sure.
on. Next. And this is my favorite. I love this barn, the Giacomini barn in Point Reyes Station. And I have hundreds and hundreds of photographs of it. So this one I count as part of sunset because those shadows wouldn't be there if it weren't close to sunset. Next. Oh, I don't know if you're seeing the whole thing. I am not seeing the whole picture. That I'm only seeing that roof beam coming off, but there's there's part of, can you make it smaller, Stephanie? Stephanie?
I am.
Oh, okay. And there, okay. Now I see the whole thing, but so this was at sunset as well in Abbott's Lagoon, looking away from Abbott's Lagoon. Abbott's Lagoon was having a sunset, but the other side of the road was having a moonrise. Also in West Marin. And I have a lot of shots of Elephant Mountain, and this was at dusk.
No.
A dusk reflection. This is McInnes Park.
Oh, it is okay.
This couldn't have happened unless the sun was right. The dog in the patch of light.
Mhm.
This is Marconi Conference Center. That's a state park.
Mhm.
I tried to get the lines like Velvy taught us to go across the photo. A sunset on my deck. This, you've seen this before. This was in our first exhibition. This is Richardson Bay. And this is a reflection in a window, a sunset reflection in a window.
Ah, okay. Cool. I like that.
Thank you. And this, the setting sun was lighting up one side of the waves. You could move on. Doesn't exactly fit into the theme, but this is part of the sculpture park in Anzo Borrego State. And here I wanted to experiment with some abstractions. I went to Eureka on a trip last week, and I stopped in Eureka to see an art exhibition by a friend of mine. But the building that the museum is in is an original Carnegie Museum. And this is a window and a, what do you call that, window over it that had something outside of it that made that abstraction. Next.
Wow. Oh.
Window next to it in a different color.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And this is the moon. Can you move it up a little bit, Stephanie? The moon taking a ride on a country road, sliding into a country road. This was I was trying to take a picture of the full moon the other day, and I moved the camera, and I love what happened.
That is fabulous. That
Thank you,
that's
Tom.
first prize right there.
I,
It almost looks like the man on the man on the moon and the moon itself.
it's, you know, something about my iPhone always gets the man in the moon.
Yeah,
Even in a regular picture of the moon.
really.
Even when I can't see it with my own eyes, it appears on the photograph.
There's a group called Intentional Camera Movement, ICM, and it's a group of people do that type of photography.
I
Intentional.
want to do much more of it.
Yeah.
I really
That's-
love how
That's
this.
fantastic. When I was not to take any time, but when I was a kid, about 12 years old, I had a tripod and put my camera on the tripod on top of the roof of where I lived and shot the moon while moving the camera all around in a zigzag pattern. So that was one of my first attempts. But I really like this. Thanks.
Thank you.
Can I ask, was that a long exposure or just it was dark and it just took a long time?
It was an absolute accident.
Okay.
I was trying to hold the camera. I thought I had held the camera on the moon and the background.
Mhm.
And I looked at the picture. I had obviously moved the camera, the iPhone. And I can't tell you, I couldn't possibly duplicate it.
Yeah.
The next one, so it occurred to me that the moon has a whole story. So this was at the seminary, the abstract picture of the moon sliding down the country road was at the seminary also. And then this one I took right after it, and I call it "The Moon Takes a Rest on the Rooftop."
Beautiful.
And that's it. That's it.
Great, very good.
All right, are you ready, Raven?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm on the meeting from my phone, so I don't know if it works a little bit differently when you're using your phone. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Do you want to send them to me? Uh-oh, did we lose you?
I don't know. That's weird. Okay, there I am. I don't know what screen, but I did do a practice last night with Donald and it was fine. And then, that's really strange. Okay, wait.
Blame it on Donald.
Donald's fault.
I want to take, while she's doing that, I want to thank Dawn and Sandy who joined in, spending the time helping me sort through and pick which images I needed to get rid of and curate the group of images and help me practice so that I could not completely fumble as I was trying to share. So
What
thank
good
you,
human
both of you.
beings, huh?
I want to say that I realize what I need to learn after trying to put this together, and I need somebody to teach me how to do a slideshow.
Yep.
I can't. I looked it up, I Googled it, and I just.
You should have called me. I told you if you had a problem, I would have been happy to help. It was so easy to do it the way I did it. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
I'll be calling you.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so hold on. Stephanie,
Yes,
maybe it'd be a little bit easier if I sent it to you and maybe you could.
sure. Sure, I
So,
think I'm the last one, so I'll do mine unless there's anybody else.
okay, hold on.
Yeah,
So
go
I-
ahead. I'll show my work and then just send
Okay.
it
Okay, that sounds good.
because I get so nervous. I kind of want to get it over with.
Okay, go for it. Mail them to you.
All right. I'm gonna do this with Bridge, so you're gonna see my sidecar, but oh well. So I'm not as prepared as I normally am. Whoops. Ah, crap. But I'm gonna show Burning Man pictures.
I
'Cause
was gonna say, I wonder where you were.
I was at Burning Man and I love shooting out there. And I used to be horrified asking people if I could take their photo, and now I'm pretty comfortable ever since all the protest work. Now I can pretty much walk up to anybody. So we bring an art car to Burning Man, and you can kind of see the front grill in the back of him. So these are just guests that we have, and everybody was pretty happy and very accommodating. So I photographed these two gorgeous people. And I always try to use the church. This is the church of the open mind. It looks like Nicasio, but it's on wheels. Looks like the church in Nicasio.
People love having their photo taken.
What?
People love having their photo taken.
Sure
You know, I
do.
know that it's something scary approaching people, but if you do it with a smile, if you say, "Oh, you look fantastic. Can I take your photo?" No one, people always say yes.
And children don't normally say yes to me, but this kid was amazing and I loved photographing him. And this is the top of the art car. This is the dance floor, and it's you get a really great view of the desert from up there. This is one of my campmates, and I just love the lighting so much, and she's so pretty. I love photographing her. And this gorgeous man was, this Israeli man was standing there and obviously looked amazing. There was about 7 or 8 people in wheelchairs, and they were just going somewhere very fast. And this woman was the last one in the line, and she was doing little twirls. It was really cute. I tried to find her on Facebook, but I couldn't. But I just love her. She's so cute. And she was having an amazing time. So I'm going home, and there's oodles of gorgeous women doing aerial work, and it was sunset, and I just loved photographing her.
Great shot.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. There she is. Isn't she pretty?
Yes, she is.
And she was so, it's funny, I'm hard of hearing. And I walked up and I said, can I take your picture? And she was up on this, way up high, and I didn't hear her. And so I said it again, and my husband yelled, she said yes. So afterwards, she was so excited. She took my picture, and she was just so happy. There she is again.
A question.
Yes.
Yeah, so the last photo, what are you shooting with and how are you getting the dynamic range because of the extreme light in the background? Or were you under a screen or something,
No.
a canopy?
No, it was really low lighting. And I shot with, I think it was a 50 at probably, I could look it up. I probably shot her at 2.8, maybe less, or maybe wider.
That's at 2.8 to me.
There she is again. And those were porta potties behind her. So thank God I had a nice lens with me. There she is again. And then this woman, there was probably, I meant to do like a little series of her because I just loved the lighting. She was dancing. She danced for hours. And this is our captain who kind of was the builder of our art car. He was upset about something. We had missed a wedding that we were supposed to do. And he was very worried about it. He was really concerned. So I thought he was going to yell at me for taking the photo when he was so upset, but he didn't. He was really sweet. And that's his daughter giving him a hug. And this lady, there's some boobies in my shots today, but she loved being photographed. She was following me around, asking me to keep shooting. Super pretty. There she is again. This is a couple that we married on the church. And this is one of my campmates, and he was working on the lighting. I guess you have to program it in your computer. That's me. I didn't take this picture, but I thought it was so funny because obviously when I'm at home, I don't shoot like this. But here's the shot I took at that time.
Oh, that's cool.
And people are just so into being photographed at Burning Man. This is another bride and groom, and the sun was going down and just shot facing into the light. It was super fun. There she is again. This was one of my campmates. This bee lady. And this was another wedding right before my last battery died, and we were packed up and we left about minutes afterwards. And within 24 hours, we were in the restaurant and ran into these two, which is pretty trippy. So that's it. Quick.
They're awesome.
Thank you for sharing those. That was
my
good.
vacation
Thank you,
photos. I had no
Stephanie.
one to share my vacation photos with.
Well, I put in the request for this, so I was excited to see them.
Oh, that's right. You did. You gave me the idea. So I think is it Raven's turn? Are you ready? Oh, did you send me photos?
I did.
See, I got so nervous that I forgot.
Yeah, I sent them to you. I emailed them to you.
Okay, I'm just going to drag it.
While you're getting those up, I just want to thank William for a lot of positive feedback that he gave after his presentation. You know, it inspired me to try a bunch of new things, and went back over some of my old photographs. Anyway, I've just, you know, learned so many things, and I was thinking about when I was trying to pick what to include, how many of the photographs I've taken since I've been with this group have been inspired by the presentations that we've had by the different photographers and the different kind of challenges, and you know how I've incorporated so many of those things into photographs I have enjoyed taking. And So I just want to thank everybody who's shared and been part of that. So it's
Me?
really
Were you
good.
talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
And Terry,
welcome
you know,
here.
everybody who has, you know, offered a lot of positive feedback and tips and, you know,
I was like, what William is she talking about? It's not me. Okay.
yeah.
Well, William, I thought of you every time I took a photograph at the Porch Fest.
Oh,
Don't-
awesome.
What I thought was, don't get the microphone in his face.
Oh, well, you know. There's an exception to every rule.
That's very good advice.
That is true. Yeah. Don't have microphone mouth.
And Bruce, I'm still waiting for those tips. I've been asking him, how do you do it? I mean, I just do not understand. I come home with a bunch of photographs and it takes me forever to sort through and edit them. And Bruce will post in moments all these amazing shots. You know, it's like, how can you sort through and edit and, you know, put it together in a package that is so impressive in such a short time? Like, what's the secret?
The answer is you need to put yourself in a separate headspace, that you're an editor. You're not the photographer. Try and really step back and be able to look and say, you know, is this a good photograph or am I kidding myself? Also, if you put them into subgroups, you know, like maybe 5 similar photos at a time, that if you can break it down into little pieces, that makes it much easier to edit quickly. And then finally, I was raised with editors that said, I don't care if it's the world's greatest photo. If you miss deadline, you're done. So highly motivated and practice.
Thank you.
I'd be really interested, Bruce, in you or anybody who's good at it, teaching a little side class on how to organize, because I was flipped out trying to. I felt like I'm totally disorganized. How can I get these photographs together? So do you?
Sandy, call me about the slideshow, and I have a little tip for you on what helped me when I was doing my slideshow. Because you're using Apple Photos, is that right? For your editing?
I'm not.
Oh,
No.
okay. Oh, okay. Never mind.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. Oops, hang on. I don't want you to see my dirty
So
desktop.
those at the end, actually, I wanted those for the end.
Huh?
The 2 of the buildings, the architectural ones, I wanted them at the end because it's just supposed to be at the end.
Yeah, they
I had a theme, but I could have threw a couple extra things in. Yeah, those are, yeah, you can go over, okay, well.
You want it bigger or smaller?
That's fine. That's fine. I'll just kind of briefly just talk about so when I was trying to decide a theme, I mean, I consider myself a wildlife photographer. I also like, you know, the fact that I like to sort of advocate for conservation. So the theme I finally came up with was wild horses, because last year, well, actually 2 years ago, I was in Nevada visiting family, and I was also pet sitting, and I'd always, on my bucket list was to see the Mustangs at Washoe Lake and up in the hills outside of Reno. So it just really, it was really impacted me, because we were just up on this hill and these Mustangs just started walking towards me, and I was just like mesmerized by them. They're not really protected, you know, they round them up and they do these, you know, kind of, you know, in this country, I definitely would consider them to be endangered because they like to round them up and send them to meat markets. But so what my intention is this past winter and spring, I had the opportunity. I spent about 3.5 months in the UK and Scotland and England, And I was doing a lot of, pet care and such, but I also had the opportunity to see different places, and I was pretty blown away. There's 3 national parks in England that have wild horses, or what they call semi-wild or semi-feral horses, that are actually owned by commoners or farmers, but they're free roaming. They're just roaming around near villages and towns. So I meant for the other ones to be in the beginning, but that's okay. So this little foal was in Dartmoor National Park, which is just about a 20-minute drive from Plymouth in Devon in South England. So I was just, really, I just love photographing animals. And his mom was just a couple of yards behind where he was standing. So anyway, that's what that is. You can keep going. There's another little foal. This is also Dartmoor National Park. So England's quite different from the United States. We have these like amazing wilderness national parks. But in the United Kingdom, there were already existing villages and towns, and they didn't want to boot the people out. So there's little towns within the parks. And so there's a little town that's literally like a 10-minute walk from where these horses are roaming. And they're literally free roaming. They just graze. The whole purpose is to graze the land. And twice a year, the commoners will do roundups just to do health checks and to check for foals, and then they're back to free roaming again. So that's just another little foal. You can keep going. That was in Nevada. Those are 2 wild Mustangs. And I had my 80 to 400 that I was using, but they were actually pretty close. I only cropped that a little bit. But I just thought they were just so beautiful. I really like, this was probably one of my favorites.
I can see why. Beautiful.
Yeah, they're just amazing. It's just, I was just mesmerized by them. So keep going. There's another one. This one looks a little bit, not quite as healthy. And I was kind of thinking she could be pregnant. Because her belly looks pretty descended. A group of them, they just literally started walking towards us, and I was so tempted to just want to like go up and hug them. You can kind of see the landscape within it. So this was winter time. They had a lot of snow that winter, so I thought this was kind of cool just to get the environment of their terrain and with the horses. Oh, this is not a horse, obviously. This is supposed to be at the end. So I just threw in a couple of extra photos because I spent quite a bit of time in Brighton, which is also in South England. It really reminded me of San Francisco. Really colorful buildings, lots of murals, and those are just 2 like apartment buildings that were just on this street in Brighton. And I just really loved that's another street. See, it's totally got a San Francisco-esque sort of vibe to it. Has anybody been to Brighton?
I was in Brighton in the 80s.
Yeah, it's very eclectic. It's very diverse, funky people dressed very colorful. It's definitely got like sort of a Bay Area, San Francisco kind of vibe to it.
That's it.
Oh, you didn't get the other ones? Because I sent more. That's weird.
Did you send 2 folders? I only see 1 folder. 1, 2, 3.
Well, fine. It's just towards the end anyway. So no, there were some more horse photos, but yeah.
Here, oh wait, here's another one. Hold on. No, we've seen all these. Here, you can tell me which one maybe it didn't come over somehow. Let's see, advanced. I'm going to show you a portion of my screen so you can't see my email.
I wanted the architectural ones to be at the very end, and then all the horse ones were getting.
They didn't come over in any order. So here we go. Here's this one.
Yeah, we saw that one. So I had a few more from Dartmoor. So yeah, I wanted to, but that's fine. Oh, that one. Yeah, we didn't see that one. That was another, I don't know if it's a foal, it's a little bit older. It's probably a colt, but I just thought it was kind of cool. I mean, the way the light was kind of, that flash of light was kind of running through him and he was grooming himself. Yeah, we saw that one already. Saw that. Yeah.
Very
So I think,
cool.
I guess that's it.
Beautiful.
A hard time really deciding. I have so many images of so many different, you know, of course, most is animals, but I do also like shooting people. And I have my newest stuff is street photography, but I decided to show those. So that's it.
Awesome. So here's my thought. I forgot to do two things. I wanted to bring up, it's almost time for us to start thinking if we want to do another show. I think what would be better is if we could find a place to do a show and leave it up for a month so that we're not.
A lot of work for a
It's a
day.
lot of work to just have it in my studio for overnight.
Yeah,
And
live close by.
yeah, so I'm going to ask the Fairfax Library, but if somebody else wants to maybe go to Corte Madera Library, I've done a show there before. And I'm really tight on time right now until well, for a little while. And so if anybody comes up with a great place that we could do it and leave it up for a month, it would be great.
Are you thinking of trying to do it before the holidays so people might sell stuff? It's kind of short.
That's what I would think, but it's, you know, whenever we find a spot, we can do it. We're not in any hurry. The second thing I wanted to mention, I have some shameless self-promotion. I'm putting on the Fairfax Art Walk again. And it is the 27th, September 27th. It's in a week. And I'm looking for the flyer. Bear with me. I'm normally very organized.
Okay, you have a lot going on.
I do. Oi, okay, I found it. And one of the other reasons I wanted to tell you about it is there's going to be 3 photographers showing their work. I'm one of them. It's my same old work that I always have in my studio. I'm sharing my screen. Advance portion. There we go. So this gentleman will be showing. His name is Will. And he'll be showing his work inside of Peruva, the auto shop. And then Ian Bates will be showing at Wayfinder Bookstore. And I will be showing, or here, Bob Kransky will be showing at Rings Ice, the frame store in Fairfax. And then you can come see my work on my walls if you feel like it. And the last thing I wanted to say is our next speaker next month, mark your calendars. We have, here, I'm going to get all this stuff out of the way. Her name is Maureen Ruddy Burkhart. And I looked at her website. It's really amazing. And if you want to do a screenshot of this, you can see her work. Check her out. She's really good. And one important thing to note is she asked if we could meet an hour early because she's not in California. So we're going to meet an hour early next month, 6 o'clock, October 17th. And what was my last thing? Art walk. That's it. That's it. And I'm gonna, I've been up since 4 a.m. So I'm probably gonna go, but I can leave this on if you all want to chit chat and talk shop.
Thank you. I have to get up at 5:30, so.
Okay.
Quick question. Are you going to post the art walk announcement on Facebook?
Yes, it's all over the place. Yes, I have.
Okay.
But I'll put it in our chat too right now.
Good.
I'm accidentally just sending it to one person.
Thank you, Stephanie, for organizing this.
Sure.
Mm.
Heinz, if you want to put your email in here, I'll add you to our roster. So you'll get my emails every month. Oops, and you're muted.
Sorry, put it in the chat.
Yeah, and I'll add it to our mailing list.
Okay, send it to the group or just to you?
You can send it to the group. And I'll grab it.
All right.
So we'll be getting back onto our normal schedule starting next month, with the exception of our 6 o'clock versus 7 o'clock.
October 17th, did you say?
Yeah, you know what? I'll put the flyer in here too.
I'll be up in Oregon, but I'll just kind of keep in touch with my email and see where I'm at the
Okay.
time. So I'll
You
be,
get my emails, right?
yeah. I'm leaving Monday. Won't be back till before Thanksgiving. So
Oh, and there's Heinz's website too. Got it. All right, you guys. Well, you all can stay on. I'm gonna just sneak. Oh, you know what? I do have to stay because of the recording.
Are you?
Hey,
Well, you can end the recording.
night, everybody.
Oh, good idea. I can end there.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Let's